Now on News 5 today, a 15-year-old boy is recovering after being pulled from the Great Miami River, how he was saved, and the tips to keep boaters safe on the water.
And the obstacles are in place waiting for the Ninja Warriors. We'll bring you all the excitement just ahead.
Plus, a Memorial Day tradition worth sinking your teeth into. The Taste of Cincinnati, a preview of what you can expect this year.
And a little taste of summer as we enter this Memorial Day holiday weekend. We are looking at temperatures that will rise into the upper 80s, getting close to 90, and some storms in the forecast as well. It's all next on News 5 Today.
This is WLWT News 5 Today, leading the way.
Good morning to you. I'm Alexis Rogers here with meteorologist Steve Norris. Steve, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's going to be a little steamy, lot of steamy, but there's so many things to do. We got the taste. A lot of people are checking out American Ninja Warrior.
Right, which speaking of, they're just kind of wrapping up the first night of filming, right? Because they actually film overnight, right? It's got to be nighttime when they air this show. So if you didn't get down there at
least one person had to be taken to the hospital in air care after a crash on I-275 in Hebron. This happened on the eastbound side of the I-275 at the Highway 237 just before 1 this morning. These are some pictures from those traffic cameras. Boone County officials say that this was a single car crash. At one point, they had to shut down both sides of the highway for air care to be able to land. No word yet on the numbers of people injured or the extent of their injuries. All lanes reopened around 2:30 this morning. A very close call on the river as a 15-year-old boy is rescued from the Great Miami. Crews in Hamilton rushed to the river near Joyce Park last night. Police found the teenager clinging to a rope from a tree about 20 feet out from that shore there. His friends say that people often use that rope when they're playing in the water, but he started to feel tired and slightly sick.
He wanted to let go and try to swim back, but I told him just keep holding on to the rope because the current would have took him.
Paramedics threw the teenager a line and were able to pull him to shore. He was then taken to the hospital for observation for possible hypothermia. This comes with rivers expected to be crowded for the holiday weekend, and the Coast Guard is warning anyone out there on the river to bring life jackets, a fire extinguisher, and their registration. WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick has a warning on the Ohio. As Brian Hamrick reporting for us, the Coast Guard is offering free boat safety checks this morning. They'll be at Manhattan Harbor in Dayton, Kentucky at 10 a.m. The first night of filming for American Ninja Warrior in Cincinnati is in the books. Hundreds of people spend the night trying out the infamous obstacle course, and that's where we find WLWT News 5's Richard Childs live at the banks with the event that everyone is talking about. Richard, this is such an exciting time for our city.
Oh, at 5.
It is such an exciting time to be a part of our city this weekend, and downtown will be packed with thousands of people ready to eat. And you know, we're the city if you want to eat. Come on and join us. Today is the first day of the Taste of Cincinnati, which runs through Monday. This year, 34 restaurants and 19 food trucks will serve up more than 250 different dishes, as well as dozens of beers, including 56 local brews. There's also live music on several stages. Everything will be set up along 5th Street. So just head out there today and tomorrow from 11 to 11, and then Monday from 11 to 9. The Cincinnati Reds won a narrow victory against the Chicago Cubs. How the team managed to turn things around a bit in the 9th inning. But first, the president has landed in Japan. What's on the schedule and why the tensions with North Korea may be playing a role in the trip. President Trump is in Japan for Memorial Day weekend, meeting with top leaders and looking for some positive movement on foreign policy. WLWT News 5's Matt Pritchard is live in Washington. And Matt, what can we expect to see on this trip?
Alexis, some are describing this to talk about a variety of different issues. Alexis?
When it comes to North Korea, a lot of people still have questions. Where do negotiations stand with North Korea currently, and why is Japan so concerned at this point?
Well, of course, the latest news has been that North Korea has been launching short-range missiles. That's something the United States has.
Our tornado touched down in Johnson County, Iowa on Friday, and that funnel cloud was clearly seen in a video near Iowa City. You can see it right there. The twister knocked down some trees in the area, and drivers had to work together to clear those roads. Some witnesses say that they had a close call when they saw the tornado approaching them.
We got the warning on our phone that there was a storm, so we pulled into this gas station, and we actually ended up hiding out in the cooler. The tornado hit just over there by the silo, and then it lifted right over the top of this gas station and landed behind us.
A high school graduation was interrupted by the tornado warning. Graduates and their families had to take shelter inside of the tunnels in their arena to wait out the storm. You know, whenever it's tornado season, that's always the scariest thing, when you have all of these life events happening and then the weather is going to be the weather, and that's one of the reasons why we're really excited to lead the way on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And tomorrow we'll be leading the way as we expect maybe some stronger storms in the afternoon and evening. We're under that risk of severe thunderstorms, so we'll be watching that. And as you say,
thank you, Steve. Ooh, this was a close one for the Cincinnati Reds. They won a very close game against the Chicago Cubs. WLWT News 5's George Vogel has more in this morning's sports. So many cool things to do and see out there this weekend. Speaking of cool things, answering the call to reel in a fish, the Kids Fishing Challenge at Great Parks this Memorial Day weekend, and how winning means solving a mystery. Time right now, 7:20, and the sun is up high. It's going to be hot and steamy out there, but there's so much to do that you're just going to have to go out there and enjoy it all. We'll have all the things that you can check out this weekend coming up on WLWT News 5 Today. Great Parks of Hamilton County is back this weekend with fun and exciting things to do in Greater Cincinnati. And this morning they have more ways for you to go out and enjoy the outdoors. Joining me now is interpreter Amy Swigert. Amy, one, I'm just excited to see you. Two, I'm very excited that you didn't bring a snake today because you know that's not my ministry. But being outside with cool things is, we have a lot of cool things in store, including fishing.
Yes, and there's a mystery fish. On Monday, Memorial Day, a great thing to do would be to come out with your kids to Lake Isabella from 10 to noon. They actually have, from the mystery fish, they actually get a prize.
See, I'm not 15 and under, but I think I really want all of that.
I want to do that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And it's so cool when you get a chance to even have a chance to clean up the trails. I mean, we have beautiful parks here. How does cleaning up the trails work?
So that's next weekend on June 1st from 9 to noon. You can register online at greatparks.org. We're inviting every nicer.
You know, especially for those weather enthusiasts out there, you all have quite a few events coming up that will definitely pique their interest.
Yes, we definitely do. Sunday, it's all about wind. So the Wonders of Wind, and they will be at Parkey's Farm in the afternoon, and they can.
I remember the last time I flew a kite, and if it's for free, it's for me. Right. So all of that sounds wonderful.
And you make it yourself, so it's a very good family event.
How awesome is that? Well, if you want to find out more information about this weekend's events and the events to come, please go to all of that online throughout the weekend. Just go to greatparks.org. There is still so much more ahead on WLWT, including making sure families in need can enjoy the taste of Cincinnati. The local organizations making a difference this Memorial Day weekend.
It'll tear a father down whenever he sees his little girl hurt.
Now on News 5 today, a bizarre kitchen accident leaves a 2-year-old and her mom and dad burned. They describe the terrifying moments and how their neighbor came to their rescue.
And it's the calm before the storm because the night belongs to the Ninjas, and they're going to take on this course coming up later. Just ahead.
And the reputation of Memorial Day weekend being the unofficial start of summer, well, it is going to live up to its reputation today with temperatures scorching out there, nearly 90. Your forecast next on News 5 Today.
This is WLWT News 5 Today, leading the way.
Happy Saturday on your Memorial Day weekend. I'm Alexis Rogers here with meteorologist Steve Norris. Steve, everybody gets excited about Memorial Day because they say, okay, it's going to be hot weather. We're going to be on the river. And if you were excited about that, you got your wish today.
Yeah, you're absolutely getting it. You know what? And for the most part, it will be dry. I say that because we actually have a shower right now, but it's going to be the exception, not the rule today. There's just a chance. Alexis.
Steve, thank you. A mother, father, and their young daughter burned in a kitchen accident, but it could have been even worse if their neighbor hadn't have come to their rescue. Tony Kirk is recovering from first-degree burns on his face, second-degree burns on his arm, and third-degree on his hand. Ashley suffered similar burns, but they are more concerned about their precious 2-year-old daughter, Maya, who may need skin grafts. They say fixing a late-night snack Thursday led into a big grease fire. When it comes to what they were able to do, they were asking for as much help as they could. They were able to go ahead and go over to the hospital locally, and then Maya was brought here to Cincinnati Children's. Now, their neighbor has a medical background of 12 years. The mom and dad told us they are so thankful for Shriners. At least one person is recovering after being hit by a car in Over the Rhine. This happened on Clifton Avenue around 9 p.m. Police think that the driver was drunk or on drugs. That person was taken into custody to be tested. Police say that the victim was taken to the hospital. Cincinnati has turned into the city that truly doesn't sleep because American Ninja Warrior filmed throughout the night, and they're preparing to do that for a second night in a row later on tonight. WLWT News 5's Richard Childs is live with how the taping went overnight and all the cool things you can see downtown. Hey, Richard.
ET News 5.
Such an amazing sight down there, Richard. Thank you so much. A local organization is making a difference for those in need at the Taste of Cincinnati this year. Maslow's Army and Texas Roadhouse have teamed up to provide free meals for the homeless. There will be pulled pork, sandwiches, fruit, dessert, and water. Then bag lunches will be provided for those who don't eat pork. There will also be set up outside of the Federal Reserve Building over on 5th and Main Street today through Monday from 11:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Lyft is offering discounted rides to the Taste of Cincinnati all weekend. You can enter the promo code TASTECINCY19 for 50% off one ride from or to the event. To redeem this code, please open up your Lyft app, then tap on your profile picture in the upper left-hand corner, then tap on promos and enter in that code. That code again is TASTECINCY19. A final salute to a war veteran this Memorial Day weekend. Why a local cemetery needs your help to lay him to rest with full military honors.
It doesn't look like we're going to have much of a problem today.
Today marks 6 years since the murder of Bardstown, Kentucky police officer Jason Ellis. The Glen Estee grad was killed after finishing his shift during the early morning hours on May 25th of 2013. Officials say that he was attempting to remove debris from the road when he was shot and killed. Last week, the FBI intensified its effort to find a suspect, offering up to $50,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction. Ellis left behind a wife and 2 kids. There will be a memorial softball tournament to honor Deputy Bill Brewer today in Amelia. Officer Brewer was killed in the line of duty back in February. Today's tournament will consist of 12 teams, 6 police and 6 fire. There will also be food and drinks, silent auctions, a cornhole tournament, and a dunking booth. Just head to St. Bernadette Ball Fields from 8:45 this morning through 7, so you still have a little bit of time there. All proceeds go to the Bill Brewer Memorial Fund. A call for help today to give a local war hero the proper send-off. 90-year-old Korean War veteran Hezekiah Perkins will be laid to rest today with military honors, but his family won't be there. Mr. Perkins' final resting place will be at the Spring Grove Cemetery. The U.S. Army veteran was born in Alabama. He later worked for the city of Cincinnati. His daughter says that she was hoping to attend today's ceremony, but because of health issues, she can't make it.
And even if they can't be here, to be able to know that we did everything in our power to celebrate his service to our country and to celebrate the man that he was. And
here's how you can do your part. If you would like to show your appreciation for Mr. Perkins, a procession will begin around 2 p.m. in front of Spring Grove. You can also attend the graveside service at 3 p.m. A Bengals player returned to his high school to give back to the community. What linebacker Preston Brown says is the best part about his football camp. Plus, our weekday morning show meteorologist Randy Rico, our fave, tried out the Ninja obstacle course. We'll show you how she did next.
And you can see the skies.
Do you have your ninja gear on? I hope you do, because nearly 100 ninjas gathered at the Banks to compete in the NBC hit show American Ninja Warrior. Among those brave warriors, our very own Randy Rico. She was one of the first people to test her skills on the course. Oh man, Randy made it past the shrinking steps, but couldn't quite swing herself to the next obstacle.
When I have practiced this at the Natty Ninjas gym a total of twice, I didn't even make it to the 5th step. So when the guy was giving me the tips on what was in the water.
You go, girl. The 5th step is a big deal in my book. The first night of qualifiers wraps up this morning, and the best competitors will run an extended course tonight. You know, that is amazing. I mean, it's like once in a lifetime to be able to see how they do what they do. Literally like real life superheroes. I'm impressed. Definitely fangirling.
It looks hard just to look at it, and I'm sure it's even harder.
I'm hurt just looking at it.
Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah.
Yes.
But,
let's go to the Taste of Cincinnati now. Eat it off.
Yeah. Then you need to run and walk tomorrow because we have that going on tomorrow. So
We
take a
got
look
you
at
covered.
this. We got it all. Yeah, it's the Eat.
Coming up later in the day.
There is so much happening this weekend, so you definitely want to make sure that you're dressed properly. After the break, a final check of the most accurate forecast coming up. Time right now, 7:54. You're looking at the Queen City, and man, isn't it beautiful? We have American Ninja Warrior. We have so many things going on. We'll have a list of those things coming up on WLWT News 5 today.
Last night, here's what you can expect tonight.